Let's go on to section 2, which I heard was better. I don't know, so we'll find out as I go along. A pedestrian arrives at a section of a road with traffic lights. She presses the button on the pole of the traffic lights, waits until the light changes to red and walks signal shown. Based on the scenario above, identify 2 components of our information system. Alright, there's hardware and then there's software. There's also a user. It's not about networking. Yeah, there's hardware, software, user. Any of those 3 should be good because you could see that you press a button, the light changes, and she presses the button, so that's the user. Explain whether the scenario represents a monitoring system or a control system. This is a monitoring system because you have to press a button, so we say monitoring because a button has to be pressed. So that button is being monitored. Alright, cool. Explain how the system could be adapted for a pedestrian who is visually impaired. There could be a bell. There could be a speaker saying cross now and a bell to signal do not, or signal the light is about to change, signal that the light is about to change. Yeah, that was kick there. That was fairly straightforward. Alright, so because the person is visually impaired, you need to have sound things only. So anything that has to do with them hearing something back should be good. Yeah, once they're hearing things back. Alright, Annalisa is a local entrepreneur. Look at words. Alright, well at least they gave us a long scenario here, so we can't have a problem. Whose new office location has high-speed internet which must be shared with all of our employees. Each of our employees must be able to connect to the internet via a laptop, desktop, mobile phone, or tablet. She has also purchased a new server, a firewall, and other networking equipment to set up a secure small office network. Using our well-labeled diagram, illustrate how the network can be configured at Annalisa's new office location to allow all of our employees to have various devices to securely access the internet and share resources. 9 marks. Food. This is cake. Alright, so when you join a network, you always start off with the ISP, Internet Service Provider. That would be like the cloud. So you'd be like, thank you, Internet Service Provider. The Internet Service Provider is going to send the information into your modem, because the modem has to convert the signals from analog to digital. After it comes inside the modem, it's digital. So because it's digital, the first thing you want to do there is hit it with a firewall. So the firewall will be able to filter the packets that are bad. And the packets that are bad will get filtered, and whatever is good will make it in. And whatever makes it in, you're going to put that into a router, because a router is smart. A router will be able to route the packets to the places that it's supposed to go. Then that router is going to send all the information to a switch, but it could also send the information to a wireless router. Alright. Alright, so the switch, well now, what's the devices that have to connect? What's it going to connect? Laptop, desktop, mobile internet, tablet. I saw something about a server somewhere here, no? Alright, she has a server and a firewall. Okay, cool. Alright, so the server definitely going to connect to the switch. So the switch will have a server, and then the switch will also have desktops because those are wired. Alright, so we account for the server, we accounted for the firewall, we accounted for the desktop. Now we have to do the laptop, mobile phone, or tablet, right? So the wireless access point is going to beam wireless stuff. So however you draw the wireless, that's your business. We'll call this tablet, laptop. I promise you I'm really good at drawing. And then after laptop we have phone. Right. And I just want to show that this wireless access point kind of even Wi-Fi all over. Right. What else we missing there? That's it. We accounted for everything. Alright, let's see if this deserves 9 marks. You get 1 mark for the ISP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, cool. 9 marks. Yeah. Alright, so these are just basic network diagrams. Just do this in module 1 all the time. I mean module 2 all the time. You have diagrams of network diagrams and things. Yeah. Alright. I'm almost positive that this is what they will be looking for. you definitely need a wireless access point. Now the wireless access point, if you're wild, the wireless access point could connect to the switch. However, you want your router to handle the most difficult routing. So the router will want to send information here and the router will want to send information there. If you put by the switch kind of dumb and the switch might not do the wireless access point justice. So you would usually come from the router or the wireless access point and the switch go from the router. But everything else here is standard. This is basic. Standard here. Nothing to worry about here. Cool. Right. Yeah. Alright, there we go. That was number 3. Oh, another diagram. Yikes. It's me when I see another diagram. So I can imagine you in the exam. Another diagram.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This is CXC 2.0, kids. This is CXC 2.0. No more regurgitation of information. You have to actually think and apply. Nav Systems is a remote software development company that specializes in navigation systems using cargo ships. Shown in the figure above. Alright, cool. This is an island. I mean, the graphics. Yeah, the graphics here tough. Explain 2 roles that an IT professional would occupy at Nav Systems. What?
Nani?
Identify 2 roles an IT professional would occupy at Nav Systems. Nav Systems is a software development company specializes in navigation systems and cargo ships. Alright, you would be a software developer. They are a software development company. Alright, so what? I don't know if all of this on the syllabus or not. I don't know, quality assurance. Like, roles that an IT professional would occupy. There are roles for users. There's like expert user and then there's normal user. But an IT professional, what they asking for? What are they? That's on the syllabus? Hold on, guys. I have to double check this. You're supposed to know jobs? I don't remember seeing jobs. That's not, I think I have the IT syllabus up here now. Is it? Yeah. Alright, let me see what they have on the syllabus. Unit 1, Module 2, right? Expert systems, that relationship, hardware and peripheral devices, describe the functions and purpose of software, embedded systems, monitoring and control systems. I think the question we just got there. Nature and structure of information, various types, strategic structure, different types of HCI. Explain the roles of users, inclusive of IT professionals and users, expert users and novice users. Yes, it is on the syllabus. Explain the roles of users inclusive of IT professionals. Wow! This is an example of where they find one thing on the syllabus and then just give you a question on it. It's there. So explain the roles of users. So the part of the syllabus says I wanted to explain the roles of users inclusive of IT professionals. But users are not IT professionals. That's weird. Alright. Yeah, it had to be jobs. It had to be jobs, for sure. Quality assurance, systems analyst, network manager, database administrator. Yeah, had to be jobs. It can't be anything else. Because it can't just be normal user and expert user. Can't be. Because they're not users. They want the roles of an IT professional. Yeah, so it's a software company. Software companies, they need people to write the software, they need people to check it, they need people to do the database, they need people to do all that stuff. Yeah, so you should know that. That's more common sense, but I don't know. Like, yeah. So 2 roles that an IT professional would... Like, what roles does an IT professional have? What are the roles of an IT professional? Yeah, it's jobs. It's jobs. Yeah. Alright, good. So state one type of human-computer interface that would be least suitable for the end user who interacts with the navigation system. Okay, so if they interact with the navigation system, the least suitable for the end user will definitely be command line, because they would have to learn the commands to do any task. I'll sprinkle a little salt on it. The difficult part about it is they ask what will be the least suitable for the end user. So you have to go to the bottom of the barrel. Anything else above command line is more suitable. So if they say least suitable, just look for the worst of the worst, which is command line. I can't give you anything else that's better than command line. I mean, that's worse than command line. So they ask for the least, give them the least. A mature employee approaching retirement does not use the ATI stated in A Part 1. Identify 2 characteristics that the employee may exhibit. What? And for each characteristic, describe one way in which another interface could be adapted to increase effectiveness. Okay, I think I understand what the students were saying now. They were saying, sir, the questions were worded very weird. Like, it wasn't hard, but the questions were worded very weird. And I could see what happened. Like this, they're asking something very straightforward here. But they worded it in such a way that it make you feel like you're doing rocket science, when basically they're just asking you, okay, if you were to use a better user interface for an old person, what would you use? That's what they're asking. But they said it in a very weird way. Okay, so a mature employee that is approaching retirement doesn't like it. Their characteristic is they are not very computer literate. Alright, the interface adaptation will be to give them menu options to choose from, so they aren't confused about what they're doing. Alright, so they're not very computer. Next characteristic is that they're mature. So you might want to, this might be a little ageist. I don't know, the question may be a little ageist, you know, we're in a little sensitive area, but they might have poor eyesight. So the adaptation will be to use images that are bigger, are big, and clear, so that they cannot make errors when input the data. So they mightn't hear properly also. I mean, if we go in full ages, we just had to go ages, you know? It's kind of weird, yeah. Like the characteristic, they may exhibit, I guess, like poor eyesight / not reading text well. Because they say what characteristic they would exhibit, right? So you had to make it like a verb. So not very computer literate or averse to using technology. Alright, so try to put some sort of I would try to put some sort of verb to show that they have to exhibit the characteristics. So because they use the word exhibit, I'll put some sort of action. Averse to using technology, not reading text very well. Based on their poor eyesight. Identify 2 characteristics that the employee may exhibit for each other. Describe one way in which another interface could be adapted to increase effectiveness. Right. So let's just double check, because as I said, if I were doing this paper, I would have read over these questions like 3 times just to make sure. So it said, a mature employee approaching retirement does not use the computer interface listed in A Part 2. So I listed the words, which was CLI, right? So they don't use command line interface. They can't use it. Identify 2 characteristics that the employee may exhibit, and for each characteristic, describe one way in which another interface could be adapted to increase effectiveness. But they didn't ask you which interface you're going to put in. So I would most likely put in a menu or a GUI. Why wouldn't I use form? I would use form. It's a navigation system. So navigation system, you most likely would use form interface. Navigation system, you actually want to like use GUI most likely. GUI would be better because you could see the things. So GUI would have the ability to give you menu options, which you could choose from because it's WIMP, Windows icons, menus, and pointers. And then there's interface adaptation for big and clear statements. Alright, cool. We're taking that. So really the coolest thing about these past videos is that I get to explain while doing a question. So a lot of you would learn things that you never saw before just by me working on the question. But sometimes I can't explain every single thing. And I don't know, you might need help explaining it. So 3088799, WhatsApp that, and find out what we have available. It might be a crash course, it might be a class. Remember, when you join my classes, all of the classes are recorded, so you'll get to see every single thing that we did from the start to the syllabus. So if you're not sure about certain questions and you're not sure because the explanations I give in the past papers are a little too fast, then WhatsApp the number, see what we can do for you. If not, hope you enjoy the videos and hope you learn a lot while you go through these past paper answers, right? Cool. Alright, I'll be satisfied with this answer if I read it over. I think that was cool. Yeah. If you want to use things like talking to the computer using natural language and that kind of thing, you could put that too. I don't see a problem with the interface to be like natural language, because they don't like to use the computer. Yeah, they don't like to use the computer. Right. So this question wasn't that hard in terms of what they wanted you to put. It's just the way that they phrased it. It was ugly. It was ugly. I don't like how they phrased it at all. But you could have fight through it. I believe so. The captain of the cargo ship is constantly making decisions using the data and information provided by the specialized software used. Describe the function of two types of information systems that could be used in the navigation system. They're constantly making decisions using the data and information. If you're constantly making decisions, you're using a MIS, Management Information System, and you're using it can't be an expert system, no. It can't be a transaction processing system, because that doesn't make any decisions. You have a MIS, you have a EIS. All I can think of is MIS and EIS. Management Information System, Executive Information System. Yeah, not expert, not TPS, MIS, EIS, DSS, but alright, let's I wouldn't put the EIS. EIS is for long-term decisions. Like put DSS, Decision Support System. Yeah, DSS would look better. Because the EIS, Executive Information System, is when you gather all the information and then you sit down and you plan for something for the future. But it's not about like consistent, regular feedback. MIS and DSS, they give you like regular, consistent feedback. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so let's go with those. So let's go to the other. Let me tell you why I narrowed down to these two. If you say experts, for the expert system, you would have to in an expert system, it doesn't make decisions using data and information provided by the software. Expert systems require humans to ask questions. So the humans ask questions. So therefore expert can work because the human will have to keep asking back questions. What you're thinking about is a system that's able to take the data by itself and do the processing for you automatically, right? So expert can work. Executive, well, that's high level stuff and long term. So we can't do executive. You can't do TPS because that's transaction processing system. This doesn't do any decisions. No decisions actually happen with a transaction. That transaction processing system just does calculations, basically, like calculating a bill. Yeah, so those are the ones I would narrow out. But for sure, a management information system is basically an amalgamation of data that produces reports. Yeah, this system collects data directly from multiple databases, and creates reports that are specific to certain tasks, right? And this specifically our cargo ship system right there. DSS would receive the data and gives a rating or score of the possible solutions, making it easier to choose one. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'll go with MIS and DSS. If you have to explain executive, I don't think you'll be able to explain executive, because you can't explain any of the others. Expert may work. That's if you get an expert system that is able to read data in automatically. But as far as we know, expert systems are human interaction based, where the human has to put in the information and they will get a response based on how the human's mind would have been put into the system now. So yeah, we're good. MIS and DSS. The captain is approaching a harbor and must make operational decisions to safety stop and act. Using an example, discuss whether the structured, semi-structured or unstructured data is captured as in navigation. This is a really, really cool question. I just don't like how they worded it. But I love the fact that they have the application of IT to a particular situation. I just may have put some more effort into wording it so that it wouldn't be confusing to students. But this is the CXC that we all wanted. But as teachers, we didn't want CXC to just have regurgitation answers where all you have to do is just write over the notes or write over definitions. We need IT people that will be able to analyze things and make good analytical decisions and write it. So I'll take it. So the captain is approaching a harbor and must make operational decisions. So they have to make decisions to safely stop and anchor the ship. Using an example, discuss whether structured, semi-structured, or unstructured data is captured as he navigates the ship to the port. He is going to get, when he comes to the port, structured data means it's already numerical. You literally just have numbers. It's already it's already like in a table format. It's already clearly discrete and everything like that. And all you have to do is read it and apply it. Definitely, a ship coming into a port to anchor, you ain't getting structured data, because there's so many variables that going on, wind speed and wind speed, the sea, the tide, the currents, temperature, all of those things, it ain't coming in structured. Semi-structured, they have a very good argument that is semi-structured, because you can measure all of those things and then put them in the form of structured data. So you would have instruments that will be able to measure wind speed, depth, and all those kind of things. You will get all that. Unstructured data is like space or the sun or the ocean itself. But this is not the ocean itself. He's coming into port. He's approaching the harbor. So once you're approaching the harbor, there is some structure. You have distance that you can measure. There's places, there's other boats and those kind of things. So I will go with semi-structured. Right. Now, they say give an example. Using an example, discuss whether it's semi-structured. I'll say semi-structured. So we're going to start off. For example, the distance from the jetty may be measurable, but it can change due to the wave strength or wind speed, which makes the data semi-structured because it still has to be processed within a particular context to be usable. Right. So semi-structured will be my best answer. Now, I do believe that structured is possible. You could put structured, because you could use structured data if the ship has like GPS and it has automated systems and all of those things, because you'll be able to get the raw numbers, and with the raw numbers you'll be able to process it a lot faster because it's clearly structured. However, this is where we have the problem with the questions, right? Here's the problem you'll have with the questions. CXC is asking you, a 16, 17, 18-year-old person, about a ship and how it docks. Me, being a person who went through university, has degrees, talked to other people, know people who have sailed ships, all those kind of things, I know for a fact that you can't just rely on the GPS to get the ship to dock. You have to have some sort of understanding of interpreting the data in order to make the best decisions. So even if you have satellite technology and all of that, they still have to know how to use it. So technically, they get in semi-structured data and then they have to give it context and structure it in order to be able to dock. But from your perspective, you just say, well, GPS, because you just put things into Google Maps and put things into Waze and it's figure out where to go. So I would say structured is a viable answer, and you could use an example about pinpoint accuracy and GPS and whatnot, and I would argue that CXC should accept that. However, I think I know what CXC wanted. I hope I believe that I know what CXC wanted for this question, which is they want you to kind of grasp the concept of they have to make operational decisions to safely stop and anchor the ship. Making an operational decision means you have to think about the thing. Now at the operational level, all the data is structured, right? At the operational level, all the data is structured. And the key word that they have here is operational. So you could get an argument for structure because they said the word operational. Yeah. Now come to think of it, all they make me think is structured, because they ask you whether it's structured, semi-structured, or structured is captured. What data is captured? Do you capture? Alright, captured is the keyword. Alright, scrap that answer. Dun dun dun. Yeah. It's not semi-structured, it's structured. Because of the word captured. Now reading over the question, I think captured it's just no. I'm going back. No, I'll do it already. But they're asking which data is captured. What data they capturing that is semi-structured? The wind speed? No, they know the wind speed is kilometers per hour, miles per hour. The wave depth? Do they have to interpret that? Do they have to interpret the distance? Do they have to interpret things could change? Alright, I'm sticking with semi-structured. Because wherever there are instruments that are collecting data, the instruments have to collect the data and you have to be able to interpret that data. So it may not be fully structured. You are going to have to make assumptions and you're going to have to make assertions to be able to put it in its right context in order to sail that ship in properly. It's kind of like you reverse parking. When you're reverse parking, you have to capture a lot of unstructured data which you have to give context to, which is the size of the parking space, the car that's next to you, how much space you have in front. All of those things, they are unstructured pieces of data. Yeah, so we'll go with semi. But I could see an argument for structured, and those of you who had structured, I hope that they make some sort of concessions in the exam to say, well, yeah, we will accept structured based on your analysis. Yeah. Alright, so yeah. So now I'll put it to you this way. If I were marking this paper and I saw that the answer sheet had semi-structured, I would go to the examiner people and be like, why are we not accepting structured? Can you tell me why? And then I would argue it down, and then I kind of try to force the answer sheet to accept both of them based on the explanation. But based on my understanding of the Caribbean Examinations Council, I am almost sure that they're looking for semi-structured. Almost sure. Because the context of the question is about something that a human has to still make a decision. If it were fully structured, then it would just be totally computerized. Yeah. Fully structured data, computers just chew that up. We will count this as a fumble question. Y'all, I literally planned to be here. I was going to try and do this paper in an hour and a half, But the amount of explaining I have to do, because I'm trying to kind of give you all some sort of understanding of what they're looking for in these papers. Yeah. Alright, let me go.